Creighton Miller, and I'm with the Horticultural Sciences Department at College Station at Texas A&M University. My background is in plant breeding, and when this zebra chip problem came up, it occurred to me that we really needed to look at this from the host plant standpoint, knowing that resistant or tolerant varieties are the best solution to addressing disease or insect problems, and usually a more long-lasting solution. What we've done is, as we teach in our plant breeding classes, when we start screening for variability, looking for resistance, it makes sense to start with the most advanced material, name varieties, and work backwards because there's less breeding involved if you identify a variety that seems to have resistance. So through the years, we've evaluated more than 600 potato varieties and advanced selections for their reaction to the zebra chip disease. We've done this in the field through natural infestation, and we've eliminated a number of varieties and narrowed it down to about 25 that we think have shown that they don't exhibit the symptoms either in at least 3 instances, 3 different locations, or 3 different years, or a mixture of that. In the past couple of years, we've taken those 25 or so plus what we refer to as check varieties that are very susceptible, and tested those in screen cages in the field, and then put the psyllid, which transmits the Libiribacter when feeding on potato plants, into the cages. And we've had 2 cage studies in the last couple of years. The first of which we saw resistance hold up, but also we saw that there appeared to be a preference factor, that the psyllid seemed to prefer one variety over another. And so in the second year, this past year, we set up a preference study in cages where we would include three varieties with Atlantic in what I would call units of 4 within the cage. And we replicated that several times, and then placed psyllid in a petri dish, 5 per plant in between those 4 plants, and allowed the psyllid to escape and see which plants they seem to go to. And we did find some preference, and we in fact found one variety, it's actually a Texas A&M breeding line, that all the plants within the cage, none of them showed the zebra chip disease. So we're encouraged. This particular selection it's a good selection, but it will probably be used more as a parent rather than direct introduction. One thing that I didn't mention that's important in the host plant area, but besides developing resistant varieties, these tolerant or resistant varieties provide excellent material for the pathologist, the entomologist, and the physiologist to use to study the disease and find out, determine how the disease gets into the plant, how it works once it gets in the plant. In summary, this is a very difficult problem because we're dealing with an insect vector that transmits a bacteria which it inserts into the plant. So we're talking about really developing resistance to 2 things, the insect, which is very difficult, and the bacteria itself. So what I would hope to find that we could find a potato plant that could withstand the bacteria being inserted into it, but still somehow not be adversely affected by it.